Now, when Northern Ireland's Assembly voted to approve equal marriage, it was vetoed by the Democratic Unionists, leaving it the only country in the British Isles where it's still banned. Tonight, the Scottish Conservative leader, Ruth Davidson, herself gay, is taking her message of marriage equality to Belfast. And our correspondent, Kieran Jenkins, joined her.
Belfast Pride is getting into its swing.
Turn around.
There's a special guest that at one time would have seemed unthinkable. It's only the leader of the Scottish Conservatives.
You spend much time in Belfast?
No, although my sister did have her hen weekend there, so I've been before, but
Okay.
this might be a slightly different experience.
I don't know about that.
Ruth Davidson has been invited to Northern Ireland to make the case for same-sex marriage, something she's campaigned for in Scotland and the Republic of Ireland, and won.
It was so overwhelming in so many places, the levels of support, that there does seem to be something lacking about the fact that the UK does so much good work in countries around the world to help LGBT communities abroad, and yet even back at home there's a part of the United Kingdom wherein you can't get married.
She's heading for one of the last places in Western Europe where same-sex marriage is illegal. Politicians voted for it, the Democratic Unionist Party vetoed it. They're right under the power-sharing agreement.
They're at 21, and she'd been
If they'll listen, Ruth Davidson has her own story to tell.
I got engaged in May of this year, so a few weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So how did all that pan out?
It was terrifying. I have a newfound respect for men, because I always grew up thinking that somebody would ask me, a man would ask me to get married, and I never realised that I had the asking on my shoulders and the proposal, and it's the most terrifying thing I've ever done. I didn't expect her to say no, but there's that small chance that she might have.
So can you understand the arguments that people make against having gay marriage, same-sex marriage here?
Well, of course I do, and as somebody who comes from a lot of different communities, I'm a practicing Christian, I'm Protestant, I'm a unionist, so I think I'm both Scottish and British, that's how I identify, but I'm also engaged to a Catholic Irish woman who was educated by nuns, and this is one of those cases where you're not giving rights to some people and taking them away from someone else. This is about making sure that people have the same rights as everybody else.
It's a right Andrew and Chris want more than anything.
How do you put what you're feeling inside into words when there's been a vote, it's passed, and it still doesn't happen?
I'm angry.
Disillusioned.
Angry, hurt, betrayed would be one of the main things.
Especially when we come from not the same community that this party represents. It's very frustrating. Yes, you're right.
It's disheartening, it's frustrating, and it does feel like a betrayal, and like we are treated like second-class citizens.
Ruth, very pleased to meet you too.
Time to meet one of those leading the case against. As a Protestant and a Unionist, these two might otherwise have much in common.
No one should feel a second-class citizen. I think that's very important to emphasise. But sometimes that is, unfortunately, I don't mean this in a condemning way, it can be the mentality that is somehow promoted for the advantage of a cause. And that's something that we should always confront.
Sure, it's not their own fault, though, that they feel that way. They feel that way because they don't have the same rights as their peers.
No, but it is the society in which we live in that actually peddles and promotes a view that makes people feel that they're second-class citizens.
How would that make you feel if same-sex marriage was brought in the next few years in Northern Ireland?
I would feel very saddened for the future of our country, but it's consistent from Genesis right through to Revelation what God thinks. And I believe that the act of homosexuality is diametrically opposed to the mind and to the plan of God.
Ruth Davidson believes equal marriage here is inevitable.
Of course we value it between a man and a woman. Of course we value it. That's why we want it too. And it says you are exactly the same as your peers. Making sure that you have equal marriage, it wipes away that last legal barrier that says if you're LGBT, you are something other, something less, something alien to everybody else. You don't have those same rights.